On that note, I think a lot of credit has to be given to Jurgen Klopp because obviously he's the one who brought in Trent from the youth system. He bought Robertson, sorry, and he's the one who bedded him in. I think it took about 6 months, give or take, before Robertson really became a starter for Liverpool. What is it about Klopp, Jose, that helps, that makes him improve players so dramatically? Why do players love him?
For me, is his character. He's honestly, obviously Gary know as well. You love managers that come straight to you and tell you what they really think. For me, I have to be so grateful to Klopp, even if I didn't play under him too much, because from the start I wasn't able to play at the level I used to because of my knee, and he was the first manager to tell me in my face, to be honest. And in that moment, obviously, you don't like it, but then you say, well, fair enough, the guy is telling me what it really is, even if I don't want to accept it. And it's that way with every single player. And then the way you can see him on the pitch screaming and all of that in training ground is the same. He wants all the players 100% in every single training at every single moment. So he used so much of his energy to give it to the players. And for me, obviously, when you are younger players, you don't think as much that the manager is that important. But as soon as you grow older, you know how important it is. And for me, Klopp is the main. Obviously, you need that good team. That's 100%. Obviously, if you don't have the players, doesn't matter how good manager you are. But for me, he's the main reason Liverpool is what it is.
How close is he to the players?
I personally think. Sorry, I was going to say. I personally think that Jose has mentioned the honesty. I think you have to be totally honest with your players. Yes, sometimes it hurts. But the other aspect for me personally is that, the most important person in my life was my father, okay? So Jurgen Klopp actually somehow manages to become the father figure for every single individual at Liverpool Football Club and the collective at Liverpool Football Club, i.e. the team. He has generated really and brought together a family. And I think that is one of his key secrets.
Interesting. All right. I want to know how close is Klopp to his players in comparison to other managers, Jose, because they seem to be more attached to him as a manager than any other manager I've seen since probably Mourinho during his first stint at Chelsea.
At the end as well, obviously, what it makes you get close to the players as well is show them that what you're thinking, obviously, it proved on the pitch and it worked. Obviously, because Klopp has a way of playing, and if he put that on the pitch and it didn't work from the start, the players will say, yeah, he's a great manager, he's honest, but what he's telling us is not working. You know what I mean? And at the end, from the start, when he arrived, he changed so many rules on the training ground. I remember, I can tell you a few of them if you want as well. Yeah. It was great because he arrived, and the first thing he's done, we had a meeting in the press room, and I remember all the workers in Melwood came to there, and obviously all the players, we were sit down, and they were standing on the right side, and Klopp say, okay, can you pass one by one through all the faces of the players, and the players, they're gonna clap you, all of them. So we were clapping for like 10, 15 minutes while all the workers, that is so many in Melwood, they were going through us. And as soon as the last one passed, he say, you know what? He say, you just have to focus in football because these people, they take care of the rest. So you don't have any excuses. You have the best people. They are as important as I am as a manager. So be respectful to them as you are to me. And I'm sure we're going to be great. And it was incredible, that, to be honest. And then another one that for me was key. Normally the players, when it's a maybe national team or whatever, the team normally go in a trip, like for 4 days or 5 days, you go to Dubai or whatever, and you training, but at the same time you disconnect because it's so many games. And you always go with the team, and obviously you go in a night out and enjoy yourself as a team and all of that, and it's beautiful, And Klopp did it different. The first one I remember went to Tenerife, that they're still going to the same place in Tenerife. It was a resort. And he said, no, I want you to bring all your families and kids. And we were like, well, that's different. Never happened to me that before. And for me, it's great. I have an amazing relationship with my partner. I'm sure some of the players, maybe they weren't as happy, but I was, yeah, And we were there, and it was beautiful. And then you think about it and you say, why he's done that? And it's clever. You say, why? Because the players, they have afterlife after football, obviously, when they go home. And obviously, if I put them in a travel, all the wives together with the kids, they're going to get closer, the wives as well. So what it's going to do, that the atmosphere after of the field is going to be great as well. So the players, they're going to be more comfortable and happy on the city. So it makes sense. And silly things like that, that you think is silly, but you say, well, you take this point, this point, this point, and at the end, he put all the players together. And I remember when I was there with him, even if I wasn't playing, I remember we make a Halloween party at my house, in Liverpool, and we were like 16 or 17 players with all the partners, and we never done that before. Yeah, we are close to 5 or 6 of them, that close, to make something like that. But 17 or 18 with all the partners and all together, and it was him really creating that. Then obviously the players will make the connection, but it's him making that, and it's just clever. It's very, very clever what he does. It's very clever.
Yeah, the other amazing thing is, and not many people can say this, when you think of Liverpool's greatest managers, say the top 5, obviously the likes of Shankly and Paisley are all going to be there, but you have to throw in Kenny Dalglish's name. And you were managed, in fact, you were signed by Sir Kenny Dalglish, and obviously you played for a season, not many games, I know you were injured, under Jurgen Klopp. Can you compare the two in terms of the aura that they have when they enter a room, when they're talking to you?
It's completely different. For me, obviously, Klopp was great, but you really, as a player, really, I have to tell you, I didn't know. I knew he did amazing for Dortmund, but obviously you play in the Premier League, I played La Liga. I didn't really know him much in a way that how good manager he was, really. And with Kenny, straight away which type of player he was, which type of manager he was, how great he is. For Liverpool, if he's not the greatest, with Stevie, he's one of the greatest. So you see Kenny's and his respect straight away. It's like, wow, this guy. And as well, they are completely different. Kenny's more like old school manager. More like completely different, more relaxed, more everything. And Klopp is more like modern manager and really aggressive football. Really you cannot compare them. They are great, both of them, but in completely different ways. They are very, very different.
And on the flip side, Gary played against Sir Kenny in your heyday, of course.
Yeah, and Kenny Dalglish was an exceptional player, no two ways about it. I played against the Liverpool side when Kenny was in it in the 80s, the 1980s, and they were a formidable side. Kenny Dalglish played up top, was a great goal scorer, a clinical finisher, held the ball up really well. Brought other players into it, was really an intelligent footballer. And obviously he moved that into his management and was successful in management.